Hi there, I'm Tiffany with Peachy Designs. We're starting the year with something simple and creative. I'm calling this one Messy Beginnings because really that's how most things actually start. In this lesson, I'll walk you through how I created this positive quote design in Procreate using some of the clip art that I made for this. It's the kind of project that you can turn into a sticker, a shirt, a screensaver, or it's just something fun to kind of get you back in the creative groove if you haven't done anything in a while. If you're new here, welcome. Every month I share a free Procreate lesson to help you get creative and grow your design skills, even if you're just starting out. You can follow along with exactly what I do and with what I'm making, or you can kind of do your own thing with your own favorite quote and whatever layout feels right and fun to you. If you're new to all of this, or you want to dive in a little bit more with Procreate, check out my Procreate Essentials course. It's made for beginners and it walks you through using clip art. It walks you through seamless patterns and making designs that you can actually do something with. And if you want more clip art like the pieces in this lesson, that's what I made the Clip Art Club for. It's monthly themed bundles, tons of variety, and everything's hand drawn. It's a great way to be creative and design without having to learn to draw too. I'm gonna link everything below, including the clip art that you're gonna need to follow along with this lesson. Okay, so my favorite part of these lessons is getting to see what you guys create. I like making it a little more fun with a challenge. We've been doing these each month, so I'm going to go over the details after the lesson, so stick around for that. Grab your iPad and let's start creating. Okay, I am so excited about this one. This is going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see all of the different things that you guys come up with, and I will go over the details of the challenge after this. But just know you can follow along with this exact lesson, or you can use your own saying, your own different papers. You do not have to create exactly this, but I encourage you to, if you're new to Procreate, to go ahead and follow along and then come back and get creative and make your own. But this is the one that we're going to be making. I thought this was super fitting for the beginning of the year, and no matter where you are in your creative journey, I think that messy beginnings do grow into beautiful things. So I am super excited, and oh my goodness, let's dive in. So I'm gonna go back to my gallery. The first thing that you will want to do before we dive into this is go ahead and download the clip art and download the color palette so that it just makes it easy for you to follow along. Once you've done that, save that somewhere that it is easy for you to navigate to bring that in and work with. To get started, you're going to tap the plus button and we're going to create a new canvas. So you're going to tap this little canvas with this plus sign, and you're going to want to switch to inches if you're not already on inches, because pixels and inches are very different sizes. We're going to set this up as 12 inches by 12 inches. You're going to want this to be 300 DPI for a high quality. Then click this check button, and you're going to have a blank screen, blank canvas to work with now. So you will have already downloaded your clip art, and then in your stuff, you'll already have that. And then for your color palette, when you click on that, it will go ahead and import it here into your palettes, and you'll have that right here. So if you haven't already, just go ahead wherever you downloaded your color palette to click on that, and then it will automatically pull it into Procreate for you. All right, then we are going to swipe up here on the bottom. In order for this to work, you will have already needed to open your file folder before you try to do this, because that's what drops it in this docking station. And then we're going to take and click and hold, and we're going to drag it over. And this is just going to split the screen here. Then you'll just need to navigate to wherever you have saved your clip art to, and we're going to drag in 2 pieces of clip art for this. We're going to use this leopard floral paper. So you'll take, and in order to do that, I just click, hold, and then I drag that in, and then I'll tap that arrow, and then we're going to use this little single tag here. I'm going to click, hold, and drag that one in as well. And I'm going to tap these 3 dots up at the top, close that because we're done with that. All right, now I'm going to take, I know I'm not going to want to move this floral layer or make any changes, and I don't want anything else that we do because we've got a lot of moving around and stuff, and I don't want anything to move that. So I'm going to use on this bottom layer, so you're going to tap your layers menu, and I'm going to take and I'm going to swipe over to the, all right, I'm dyslexic, y'all. Swipe to the left, and I'm going to lock. And what that's going to do is that's just going to keep me from accidentally, see if I try to do anything with that, it's not going to let me do anything. So it's just going to kind of lock that in place while we're working on everything else so I don't accidentally move that around. All right, I'm going to click on this tag that I have here, and I'm going that layer with the tag, and I am going to click on this arrow, and then I'm going to make this, I'm going to use this little kind of, you see these blue dots, I'm going to make this just a little smaller for what we're going to do. And I'm going to move it up to the top for now. Okay. All right. There's several ways you can do this, but this is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this a total of 5 times. So I need to duplicate it 4 times. And I did that kind of fast. So I'm going to just back up. If you missed that, you're going to take on your layer and you're going to swipe over to the left and then you'll hit duplicate. And so I just repeated that same step so that I have a total of 5 tags because we're going to say messy beginnings grow beautiful things, and I want 5 different tags. And I'm going to start at the bottom one and I'm going to drag these down a little bit so I have all 5 of them. And so what I did is I'm going to click on this layers menu, go to the next one, drag that down, go to the next one, drag that down, go to the next one, and drag that one down. Okay, I have all 5 of them, and they're still a little bit big, so I'm going to take and select that top one, and then I'm going to swipe to the right on each one so that now I've selected all of these. I'm going to click that arrow, and then I'm going to make them all just a little smaller for this. Okay. Now, we'll rearrange them as we go, but the next thing I want to do is we're going to take this top one. We're going to start with the top one. You're going to swipe to, no, you're not going to swipe. You're going to tap on the image there, and it's going to pop up this menu, and I'm going to hit Alpha Lock, and then I'm going to go to my color palette here, and I'm going to click on this kind of emeraldy color. And then I'm going to go back to my layers. I'm going to say fill layer. So what your alpha lock does is when you have alpha lock turned on, it basically, when you add a color or if you were to try to draw on this, it's not going to allow anything to happen except for to this exact image. So if I tried to, here, let me just show you. So when we filled it, it just filled that exact image. It didn't go outside of it at all. So for instance, if I took, let's just go up, favorite, just select any brush, it doesn't matter. But on this one, when I have alpha lock turned on, if I tried to color, it's only coloring on that image. It isn't going anywhere else. You can see there. Whereas if I did not have alpha lock on and I tried to color on this one, it colors everywhere. So that is the difference when you have the alpha lock turned on. So I'm going to repeat that same thing to color all of these. I'm going to go ahead and I keep wanting to swipe. I'm going to hit alpha lock, and then we're going to use this purple color. I'm going to say fill layer, alpha lock. And for this one, I want this gold color, fill layer, same thing. Oh, I keep trying to swipe, alpha lock. And we're going to do the pink, fill layer. Also, you can, rather than tapping and going to the menu, you can take 2 fingers and just on that layer, you can, see if I can, no, I can't do it because I'm trying to show you. You can just kind of swipe over to the side like that, and that will also create the alpha lock. I'm going to use this orange color on this one. and fill layer. Okay, so we have all of our tags colored. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to our top one, and then I'm going to select that one, and then we're going to go to the wrench tool, and we're going to click on where, if it isn't already, click on where it says add here, and then you're going to add text. And probably should have done this beforehand, but I want to turn this white. So you probably won't have these same color palettes in yours. So you'll just select the color wheel, and all you have to do is tap anywhere near white and it will turn your text white. Okay, go back to the arrow. Well, let's go back to this, click your menu and say edit text. And then we're going to say down here at the bottom where it says edit style. And I'm going to, I don't think that one's, we need to click it. So I want it to say messy, and I want it all lowercase, messy. And then I'm going to double tap so that I have it all selected. And I'm going to use this font called Rainbow Sprinkles. You can find it in Alicia Ray's Etsy shop. Love her stuff. So it's called Rainbow Sprinkles, and I got it from Alicia Ray. She has an Etsy shop where you can get her fonts. She has lots of great stuff. All right, so we're going to say messy. And I think before we start resizing everything, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get all of my text where I want that. And then we'll go ahead and start resizing because I've got these different sizes and stuff. So instead of adding text box again so that I don't have to select the font, it's already selected for me because I'm going to use that for all of this. I'm going to swipe to the left, and then I'm going to hit duplicate. All right, and now I'm going to take and I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to drag that down so that this one sits right on top of this purple layer. And then I'm going to click my arrow and I'm going to drag this one down. And then we're going to you have to have that off. We're going to edit text, double click, and I'm going to say beginnings. And this time I'm going to, okay, we'll do beginnings. BEGINNINGS. And then double click, edit style. And we're going to go ahead and right here in the style, you'll see these two T's. I'm going to click that on so that this is all in caps. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I think it resets it, but just for the sake of having this one in caps and this one not, which we'll see as we go on, I'm going to duplicate messy again, select that, and I'm going to drag it above this gold layer, and then grab your arrow and drag it down. All right, edit text, messy, beginnings, grow. And I want that all lowercase. Grow. Okay. And we're it's gonna make me select it again, so it doesn't matter. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna duplicate this text, grow, click and hold, then drag it down so that it is just above the pink layer. Click your arrow, drag it down, and then edit text. Goodness, it's dropping it right above it. All right, let's move that up so you can see what I'm doing. Grow, beautiful, BEAUTIFUL, and double click. Edit style, it's not doing it. There we go. I'm gonna make that one all caps. Beautiful. Duplicate. Same thing. Drag it down. This one's gonna be above the orange. Beautiful. And then things. Edit style. I want this one all caps. Okay. So what we have now is a whole bunch of layers. I'm gonna shut it off so you can see messy beginnings grow beautiful things. So what I want to do is I want to resize these tags and kind of tilt these things a little bit. So we're going to start with the messy, and I'm going to click on this tag layer, click on the arrow. When you have uniform selected down here, when you resize something, it keeps it uniform. You know, it's going to resize it, and it's going to hold those the sizing constraints. For this one, I want to click on freeform because I want some of these to be skinnier, wider. I want to have a little more freedom when I go to resize these. And then you'll just click on your little blue nodules all around it, and you're going to resize that. And we're going to do the same thing with the purple tag. Freeform. I'm going to make this one a little wider. I want it to go outside, make it a little narrower. The gold one, same thing. Bring it down. Grow beautiful. Okay, now the pink tag. And the last one, the orange tag. I'm just resizing this so that it kind of, this is just how you like it, but for me it's just so it's just a little wider than the text. Okay, now I think the easiest way is going to be, just make sure I have everything spelled right before I do this next step. Beautiful. Thanks. Okay. So I think the easiest way to do this is going to, when we, okay, so I have double checked all my spelling, and we're going to go ahead. This will just make this step easier. If I was not doing this, if we weren't doing this as a demonstration, I'm not sure that I would do what I'm about to do, because you wouldn't be able to edit anything. So you could take and select these and then resize and rotate with two selected. But in order to make this a little easier, as we're just trying to move everything around, we're going to take these two that go together and we're going to pen. But once you've done this, you are not able to do a lot of editing at this point. So if you didn't want to do this, okay, so now what I want to do is we're going to take and we're going to resize these a little, and we're going to rotate some. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. If we take and we combine these, so you can pinch them together, or you could take and you could say merge down. This is going to make it the easiest for us to edit them. But once you've done this, you wouldn't be able to go back and change words or do any other editing. So I'm going to use two fingers, and I'm going to tap, and I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to show you another option would be that you could group these together. So you select the two that are like the beginning with the purple, and then you create a group. And now you can just select that group, and then you can resize it, and you can rotate it. I'm going to use two fingers, tap again. And then that's going to keep it so that if you wanted to come back later and edit something, change colors, if you misspelled something, you can do that. So this is going to be the best way to do this in order to keep it so that you can edit things. So we're going to select these two, group them together. Select these two, group them together, select these two, and group them together. Okay, so if you like to be super organized, you could even take and you could rename, so that you could say messy here, and you could have it so that it was real easy to see. I am not that worried about that for this, so I'm not going to do that, but just wanted you to know you can do that. All right, so we're going to start with the first one. I'm going to do messy I'm going to make it just, we still have this on freeform, not uniform. So we're going to make this, if you want it to resize without, like, so when you have it on freeform, you can stretch it wide, tall. If you want it to hold those proportions, put it back on uniform. We'll make this one a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to just rotate it just a little bit. And then we're going to go to the next one, and let's see, make this one a little smaller. Also, I'll show you in a minute how we can adjust the way that it's layered, so that, like, right now you see how the emerald is on top of the purple. So that's going to be a personal preference as you go. So this is just going to take a minute. You'll just kind of go through and just adjust this to, this is just personal preference. Same thing, grow. We're going to make it bigger. Rotate it just a little. Beautiful. Rotate it. So in order to rotate, there's this little green handle. You'll just hold that and then drag, and that's how you rotate something. I'm just going to slide that up. I'm going to make that just a little bigger. And then things, same thing. Make it a little bigger. And I think I'll rotate that one the other way. Okay. A couple things. So let's say that you wanted this messy to be under the purple on that one. All you're going to do is take this layer, click and hold, and then pull it under. And so now you can see it's behind that one. And that's how you might relayer if you wanted to relayer. Another thing I want to show you is if you go up to your, let's see, go click your arrow. It's going to pop up this menu down here, and we're going to click snapping. We're going to turn on our magnetics and our snapping. I've got my distance at max and my velocity at max. Let me show you. So now we'll start with messy since it's the first one. When we select that and we want to move it, you're going to see, I don't know if you can actually see. Let me see if I kind of zoom in, if it'll show. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it is pulled up this kind of orangey gold crossbar. I'm going to zoom back out. And that is how you know that you've got it centered. So it's going to, when you have this turned on, you can snap and kind of lock, and you can get everything centered. So now we're centering. And then if you want to rotate, it makes it a little harder. Like I said, when you were I was just trying to rotate it, it's going to try to lock it and snap it into certain places. So you may want to already have things at the angle you want them at before you center them, or you can go through and kind of center and then go back and make some more minor adjustments. But I'm going to go ahead and center these. And I'm just moving them to get that little crossbar to pop up right there. And that's how I know I have that centered. Okay. I think that looks really good. And now I'm just going to take, and I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. And I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. And you see I still have this snapping on, and that caused it to kind of pop up. And then I'm going to slide this down, and it'll pop up that orange bar across the middle. And then, so I have got like a cross here, and I know that this is centered on my canvas. And then that's it. So if you wanted to take and save this so that you could put this on a shirt or a bag or whatever you wanted to, in order to export it, you're going to click this wrench up at the top. You're going to say share. And then I'm going to export this as a PNG file. And that is going to create a flattened image. And then you would just navigate to wherever you wanted to save this image, and you're going to save this. That saved it to my camera roll, but you get the idea. So PNG, and then if you were saving this in your Dropbox, you're going to navigate to where you want to save this. At that point, name it, and you've now got your image ready to apply to whatever you want to apply that to. So I hope you had fun with this, and I'm going to show you a couple more that I created so you can see. But like here, you can see if you were to put it on a phone case, I think that is absolutely so cute. So when I did this, I made the text just a little bit lower so I had a little more room at the top. And then I created a couple other designs so that you can get the idea. The world needs you, and got some of the art, the clip art in here. We've got small steps, still grow big things. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, yep, the world needs you on the t-shirt. So you guys have fun with this and get creative, and I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. All right, let's talk about the challenge. This is seriously my favorite part. I love getting to see what you guys create. So the challenge is going to run from January 5th to 12th. You're going to create your own positive design using a quote that feels uplifting, encouraging, or just a quote or saying that's right for you and the season that you're in right now. Pair your quote with at least one piece of clip art or one clip art element from the set that I've provided. And then you're going to post that in the Peachy Designs Facebook. On January 13th, I'm going to choose a random winner. They're going to get a $25 gift card. It's just a fun way to kind of put the skills that you've learned to use. Okay, there's another thing I just wanted to say, and it's just another random idea that I thought would be really a fun use for these. And I think that it would be really fun to set these up as wallpapers for your iPad or screensavers, whatever they're called, for your iPad or your phone. So you could make an entire collection of them that your phone, you could set it up where your phone would rotate through the different kind of positive quotes and sayings. But in order to do that, really, if you just adjust your canvas size to a 16:9 ratio, you may need to adjust the text just a little bit. So like if you have on your phone, on your screen, most of us have like the time and the date and stuff up at the top. So you may need, as you're looking at it, to kind of pull your text down just a little bit. But you could do those again at a 16:9 ratio, create a whole collection, and then just set it to rotate. I think that would be such a fun way to use this kind of design idea. So anyway, I just want to mention that. And if you're watching this after the challenge has already ended, don't worry. You can still share your design in the group and then jump in, mark your calendar. We're going to do these the first Monday of every month. If you love this project, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future lessons. And just a reminder, if you want even more art like this, be sure to check out the Peachy Clip Art Club. And if you want to dive in a little deeper to Procreate, check out my Procreate Essentials course for beginners. Thank you so much for creating with me, and I cannot wait to see what you guys create.